welcome to day 10, and today you'll be learning about discovered attacks. Now, discovered attacks are also another way of gaining material. However, they are tricky to find, but extremely powerful if you know how to use them. So let me just clear the board and show you a cool example, a basic example, but a pretty good one on what a discovered attack is. So let me just set up the board real quick. Okay. So this is white to move, right? So notice how this rook and this queen are both on the d file, right? Oh, they're both on the d file. So the rook would love to capture this queen, right? Gain a lot of material. Problem is this bishop's in the way. So what do we do then? So this would be the move. This would be the killer move because black cannot take the rook, right? Black cannot take the rook right here because notice how this bishop is checking black's king. So let's say, I don't know, let's say black moves here. We just take the queen. Oh, that's laggy. But as you can see, this is a basic example on what a discovered attack is. Let me show you another example as well. Because normally this doesn't have to be like that as well. Let me just show you another example real quick. Yeah, let's not do the bishop. Let's do the rook again, and what should I put? Yeah, that would be fine. Okay. Let me just make sure to give white the king. Alright. Okay, so notice how this king right over here is lined up with the rook, right? It's in the e file. So, well, but the knight's in the way, right? The rook would, if the knight wasn't in the way, the rook would give a check. However, this is white to move. So, what would be the move to give a discovered check? Can you find like the discovered check or the discovered attack? The correct answer would be knight f6. And as you can see, technically it's a discovered attack, but it can also be a fork as like. In this example, this is a fork. This is a fork as well, since it's attacking two pieces at once. But it's also a discovered attack. It's also a discovered attack. So after like the king moves, right? The king moves. We just take the queen, right? It's important to note that the king is being double checked, and double check in short is when there's two pieces that's checking the king in a row. So like two pieces are checking at the king at one move. So notice how you can't block, right? The queen cannot block because the knight's gonna check. You can block the rook's check, but the knight's just gonna check. And you cannot capture because let's say if you capture this knight, you're still in check. The rook's taking, well, not taking, but checking you still. And if you take this, the knight's still checking. So the only way is for black to get out. And as you can see, we just take the queen. Now, let me just tell you that knight g5 is also an option, right? This is also a discovered attack, right? You're checking the king, and you're attacking a queen. So, say the king moves here, we just take the queen, just like in that previous example. So, let's see. Let's show you one more example real quick. So as I clear the board, Actually, we don't need to clear the board. Let's just show you this. So, if you played a lot of games, you'd notice that there are some opponents who like copycat like other people's moves. So if like they do this, I'll do that. If they do this, I'll do that. If you take here, I'll take here. No, that's what I mean. So I'm gonna show you a thing, well, a real life thing on what to do using a discovered attack to help you. So let's just say the knight goes to knight of 3, and black goes knight of 6. So you take here, and if black knows what he's doing, he's supposed to do d6, right? d6, and after you go back and take. But let's just say in this example, black takes, okay? You would do queen e2, and you cannot copycat because I'll take your knight. And if you take this, I'll take your queen. So as you can see, so let's say black knows, oh, I cannot copycat anymore, right? I cannot do the copycat strat, well, otherwise I'll just lose my knight. So what? Let's say black goes here, alright? Black goes back to his square, knight of 6. So, can you find a discovered attack that allows you to gain material? And feel free to pause this video if you'd like. Okay. So I hope you find knight c6 check. Remember how this queen is lined up with the king, right? It would be a check, but this knight is in the way, right? So we go knight c6. Oh, that's super laggy. As you can see, the queen is checking the king, and the knight is attacking the queen. Black would love to take, but it's in check, right? So, king cannot go anywhere. Let's say black just blocks with his bishop. We just take the queen, right? And we're up a full queen, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So, let's just say, so that's just, yeah, that's it. That's an example of what we would use a discovered attack in the board. Anyways, let's go to let's do a couple puzzles. So let me scroll down and just give you a couple puzzles, and I'll explain why in a minute. So those are puzzles selected out, so you get the feel of discovered attacks. Anyways, let's do this. So white just made a blunder. White played knight bd2. Can you find a discovered attack that allows you to gain material? And feel free to pause this video. Okay, so I hope you've given into thought. The move was bishop b5, right? And then after white blocks it, right? So we just take the queen. So let's go back a couple moves. So if you notice that both of these queens are lined up on d file, then good job. And if you notice that this bishop was blocking those two, then good job as well. So if you found bishop b5, then congratulations. And after white blocks, we just take the queen, right? Let's just go to the next puzzle. Let me just drag and drop. Okay, so let's do this next puzzle. Okay, so black attacks the queen, but white just played queen a4. Can you find why white blundered? And can you find a discovered attack that allows you to gain material? And feel free to pause this video. Okay, so if you found rook c1 check then good job. And yes, white will take the rook. But the thing is, look, the queens are both in the open. So now we can just take the queen, right? Before, like, the rook was in the way between those two queens, right? They were both on the diagonal. So of course we just, check. We lose a rook, but then we just gain an entire queen. Remember, the queen's worth 9 points. This rook is worth 5 points, and we just, gained +4 material. Anyways, let's go to the last puzzle. Now this one's pretty, well, not really, but it seems a little difficult than those two problems. So, let's do it. So, white just played queen b3, attacking the bishop. But can you find the move that instantly wins material? Okay. So, obviously, we're in danger, right? This bishop is about to be, captured. So here's what we would do. If you notice this king and this bishop is lined up on the same diagonal, right? And this pawn is in the middle, right? Then congratulations. Because that's exactly, the thing. All we have to do is just take this pawn. And this is the correct move. I mean, even if the queen takes the, bishop, remember that we can promote it, right? We can just take this rook and promote it to a queen. And we're up by a lot of material. And that's it. That's it on discovered attacks. So you can click over here to go to the next video, or you can click over here to view the entire playlist. And I'll see you in the next video.